to Fromania Bricks, and welcome back to the world's fanciest LEGO recording studio in our house on the second floor.
In this room.
Was that fourth? That would be fourth floor. Second floor.
Second floor.
Today, we sit at the table with two of the same LEGO set, which means it's SPUPLR time, but we've never done this before.
Nope.
We're doing a double SPUPLR. This is a doubler. A doubler SPUPLR. Micah and Kaleb both picked up the latest Skeleton Crew LEGO Star Wars ship. And they're both going to SPUPLR this at the same time. I don't even know that this is possible. I don't know if I can count that high. But we're going to try it anyway. The way this is going to work, though, is they're both going to give independent scores, which is then going to find a combined average score, which is then going to give you a total super proprietary, ultra precise LEGO Review System score.
Yes.
It's also an iconic day because if there was one thing that could pull me into the Star Wars universe, just one thing that could suck me in, that could make me no longer a Trekkie, but a Starry, and I'm also not a Trekkie either, but that could make me a Starry, that's going to be my new word for Star Wars people, Starry, is a pirate ship. And we now have the mashup of LEGO Star Wars and LEGO Pirates with the Skeleton Crew. We have a Star Wars pirate ship. Do you remember that time that Kaleb threw milk at you?
No.
How dare he?
I don't think I did that.
Do you know what Albert Einstein's evil, mean, twisted, monstrous brother's name is?
What?
Frank.
Frankenstein. That's good.
You both are going to have to look out because neither of you can claim strongest Froman in the family.
No, I can't.
You need to go ahead and turn in your 2-week notice. Alright, we're going to jump in and SPUPLR this new Star Wars set with you today. We're going to look at 5 key areas on this LEGO Pirate Star Wars ship. So we're just going to jump right in with the SPUPLR and talk about the overall design. As we get into this, I want to be sure you guys know we have seen the entirety of Skeleton Crew, and I'm a fan. I know that Star Wars Universe probably hates it, right? You guys are tired of all the series that Disney's putting out. You're tired of all the non-canon stuff. You're tired of all the outliers.
Oh, this is canon. This is canon.
I love it. Of course it's canon. It doesn't touch the rest of the Star Wars story at all.
There's canons in it.
I love it. I think they did an amazing job with this. Let's talk about the overall aesthetic of the ship first. This is talking about, does it look like what it's supposed to look like? Is it visually appealing, or does it just look like a pile of gray and white bricks? Micah, what do you think about how this ship came together from a look standpoint?
I actually was very happy with the way it looks. When I first saw the set before the show had even come out, I do have to admit I decided I was going to pass on it. But after seeing the show, I did want it.
So did you want it because of the attachment to the show, or because it actually looks cool?
Yes. I think it looks cool. If it was ugly, I don't know if I'd wanted it. But yes, partially because of the show, too. It's a lot cooler built. And when we were in the LEGO store and they had it built before I'd seen the show, I did decide I was going to get it eventually. Because I did like it. Seeing it built a lot more than I liked it on the box.
Caleb, how do you feel visually about this set?
I mean, I think it looks perfect. I think that they captured, because I mean, it was underground, right? They had to dig it out and fly it.
Is that what the little brown bits are? Is that like dirt?
I'm assuming so, yeah, because it would have a nasty ship. I mean,
they do that a lot on Star Wars ships, so I think it's just because it's worn out.
Yeah, but still.
Whenever we say the phrase nasty ship, let's be sure our P is really pronunciated.
Okay. Was it not? Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, I think that every single detail that needed to be there was, I mean, so many guns on it. I mean, the turrets are super accurate to the show on how they look. Yeah, I think it's great. I love it.
So, can I give my thoughts too?
Yes.
So, I would have never looked at this on the shelf and been like, that's an epic starship. I want to have that starship. But it looks identical to the one in the show prior to its skin coming off.
Yes.
Right? It looks like the one that came out of the ground. And they got me a pirate ship. Like, once I knew it was a pirate ship, it could be like 4 bricks stuck together, and if they called it a Lego Star Wars pirate ship, I would be happy with it.
So will you eventually buy this one?
I have yet to personally put my money into a Star Wars set. I own one Star Wars set. It is the Darth Vader mech that I won on a Whatnot auction.
Well, for free. It was a giveaway.
That's right. It was a givey that I won.
A givey.
So, I've never bought a Star Wars Lego set. I will say that if I were to ever put money into a Star Wars Lego set, this is where it would start.
Wow.
Now, I will also say this. If I were to imagine a Lego pirate starship, it would have been more along the lines of the Razor Crest than this aesthetic. But it is what it is. This is what the show created. This is what we got. It does feel rugged piratey. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to count to 3. You're both going to give your number at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
10.
8.
Ooh.
I'd say 8 because it looks really great, but it's not... There's other ships that I think maybe look a little bit better.
All right. So average score then on this for overall appearance would be a 9. Next up, minifigures. Are the right minifigures in the set? Are they well designed? Is it a good amount of minifigures? Are you happy with the molds?
9. I give it a 9. I think it's a little... So, but now it's 9.5.
8.5. Oh, yeah, 9.5.
I'm just still looking at it.
Man.
Actually,
look at that.
really cool.
Undo. Redo. 9.5 on visual design.
He called claimsies and then unclaimsies on what it was.
Minifigures. Is it the right amount? Are the right characters included? And we gotta talk.
Yeah.
Friends, we gotta talk. Look at this minifigure plate here.
It's amazing.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we intentionally left a blank spot here. Because here's why. Lego Group, you're breaking my heart. You are breaking my heart.
See this right here?
You finally...
Boom.
You finally hooked me. Right? You finally brought me into Star Wars universe. Right? You partnered with Disney. And you came together and you hooked me into Star Wars. And you made me fall in love with the skeleton crew. And even Jod, the bad guy.
Yes!
Right? But you made me fall in love with someone else. There's someone else you made me fall in love with. You got me attached to him. You go, I'm going to buy this Lego set and I'm going to get that minifig, and then you don't put the minifig in the set. There's a void in this set. That void is the droid.
SM33, where are you?
SM33, where are you? This, to me, is one of the biggest misses that I've ever experienced in my Legodom life. And that is that one of the essential characters of the ship.
He literally came with the ship.
He came with the ship. He piloted the ship. He knew all about it, and he's not on the plate because you left him out, and you're breaking my heart. We're all about positive, and our videos are positive, but my heart's broke. Because SM's not in here. All right, I'm done ranting. Let's talk about minifigs. Micah, tell me about the minifigs.
Well, I have to start with, we can't ignore the elephant in the room, and I'm not talking about Neil. There's no SM33, and it's just not okay. It is not okay that he wasn't with it when he's like, literally was in the ship, when they found the ship in the show.
I agree.
Okay. The rest of the figures are great. They look like who they're supposed to look like. I really like Neil. I think the head mold was done great. No complaints. But the no SM33 is going to be a massive point deduction.
I mean, it's so hard to knock the figures when every single one of them is perfect. Like, it's hard for me. One of my thoughts is, or one of Micah's thoughts was, maybe when this was released, I think 3 months before the show came out. So maybe he was not, Disney didn't even know that he was going to be in it. Was potential.
Well, no, not that they wouldn't know, but that, like, it wasn't revealed.
Wasn't revealed.
They may not have told Lego.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe they didn't. Oh, then that's a Disney miss.
And also, I'm wondering, all of the figures are able to fit into the ship. Maybe they just didn't want to have someone that couldn't necessarily fit in the ship. It would have been tight.
Put him in the scene where his head's chopped off and just drop his pieces in there. Come on.
It would have been a tight fit, but then you gotta, I don't know. There's not really any rationale to it. It's so hard to blemish the whole score when how perfect the figures are. I mean, the molding is great. I mean, Like, Fern's jacket is amazing. Wim's jacket is good. Jod has the perfect detail. It's just, they're all so good.
Okay, so we have a remedy, though. There is not often that we like to add to a Lego set or a Lego design. We're very much purist, right? What you give us is how we're going to keep it. We don't modify much. Micah and Kaleb both mock. They love to mock, but the sets that we get, we keep pure. We're not keeping this set pure. We are adding to this set. Micah, show us what you got.
This is my brick built SM33. He's not great, but...
He's not great. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's nuts.
But you can't...
So,
it's hard to get the face less than 2 studs wide.
So, Lego, if you're watching, because you did not give us a minifig, we now have a brick-built fig. And he's arguably even cooler than the minifig would have been. And you know what? If you don't want a brick-built SM33, I mean, Lego, you could have just put a K2SO in the box, and everyone would have been happy.
Yeah, I feel like it's the same type of droid to my knowledge. If you have just recolored him and made one of the eyes not have light in it, it would have been the perfect figure.
You literally could have just put K2SO in the box with this. Took you no time, no effort. I would have gladly Sharpied over his eye if you put it in here.
No.
So,
that's a sin. No.
I agree. The figs other than that are good. This guy, convince me otherwise. Neil. Convince me otherwise. Neil is Max Rebo's son.
No.
Convince me otherwise. They both have elephant trunks. If you're going to create a new alien species, why give him the same ears and elephant trunk?
They show his
They're
actual
related.
dad in the show, so he can't be Max Rebo's
It's
son.
his cousin. They're cousins. That's adopted. I don't know. They're the same alien species.
No.
Alright. I'm going to give a spoiler alert before you guys give your minifig scores. I would only give this a 5.
Ooh.
I feel like the droid omission is that significant that I would only give it a 5. But this is up to you guys. So the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
9.
6. 9?
9.
9?
Alright, so that gives us an average score of 7.
It
And
was
a
gonna be
and a half.
It was gonna be a 9.8, but
SM is worth more than 0.2. It's worth more than a
Yeah.
point to me. These figures are 10 out of 10, the ones they did, but
Alright.
see, that's why I couldn't dock it that much.
I
Like,
had to.
So minifig score is 7.5. Next up, build experience. This is, was it a good, solid build? Did it come together well? Was it an enjoyable build? Some builds are so repetitive that you're just sick of doing the same steps over and over again. And some builds are fun from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top. And some have really interesting, neat techniques, new elements. Some don't. Stickers versus prints. Tell me about the build experience. Kaleb, we're going to start with you on this one.
alright, awesome. So first, you just said stickers, so I'm gonna start with that. There is a lot of them. And I'm not necessarily happy about that. I feel like it's okay that there's stickers, but I wish they would have been prints. Like, for all of these 6 engines on here, they should have definitely been prints. Like, I don't know why they didn't print those. Just, it gets repetitive just trying to put on all those stickers. But the build experience was really fun and actually pretty challenging. I messed up a couple times, just with some of the technique. When we get to playability and functions, you'll see that these actually will rotate, kind of like this.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler! We're spoiling our own videos.
So that technique, it's really actually a simple mechanism, but it was still hard to build. I think that's amazing. It looks great. It was a super fun build experience. Yeah, I love it.
All right, Micah, how did you feel about the build?
I felt it was one of the more challenging builds. Now, maybe that was just my own error, but I did actually mess something up.
Do you think that's because of how the colors and stuff come together in the book?
Well, I think it's because the one end and the other are pretty similar, but they're distinctly different, and I just got something in there backwards, I think, or I got confused and I thought I messed it up and I didn't, but I had to rip it open.
Yeah, because when you're building
to the best of us.
So it's like you build a Technic frame and then all of these panels get put on around it. So it is very symmetrical when you're putting on just the original Technic frame.
It was actually a very enjoyable build. It wasn't repetitive, except for the engines. It wasn't repetitive at all. It was actually one of the most enjoyable sets to put together for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing.
All right. Well, I have nothing to add to build experience.
Because you didn't build it.
Because I didn't build it. I sat at the table building the general store, Bricklink Designer Program General Store, as you guys were building this. So I don't have anything to add. So 1, 2, 3,
10.
Woohoo! Wow!
There was nothing wrong with it.
Wait, hold on though. We got to get an average score in here. So 10 plus 10 is 20. And to average, we're going to divide that by 2, which means 10. Yeah, 10. 10.
Yep, 10.
So, perfect 10.
Yeah, it was one of the most enjoyable sets to put together because it was really fun to see how all the panels fit together just right, and it wasn't repetitive really because they're all small enough assemblies, other than the engines.
All right, moving on to playability and functions. Is this a playable set? Does it have any interesting functions built into it? Is it something you can get up? What is the swooshability of the set? So let's talk about playability and functions, and we're going to go with Micah. Say a number, 1 or 2.
1.
Oh, Kaleb, you're up first.
Yes, let's go. So, actually, I feel like this is so playable. There's one thing that is kind of hurting it, but it's not that bad. So first, the main function of the set is these engines, just like in the show, will lift up so that you can hover it up like that, and then like that, and then once you're up, then you can turn them. So it's just this thing right here. It's a super simple mechanism.
Will it crash into a cloud of smoke?
No, that's good. It's amazing. I just think that it's such a fun mechanism just to send back and forth. If you don't want to do the lever, they do just pull just fine. Like, not going to do anything wrong with it. They might just kind of pop off if you do it like that, but not really that big. Yeah, it's a really nice build. You can do it like this. You don't have to. It's easier just to do this. There's a cockpit right here. It's a one-figure cockpit, unfortunately. In the show, you do get to see all 5 figures live comfortably in there.
Is this the location of the cockpit in the show? I would have imagined it at the front of the ship.
I'm sure it is. I'm
sure it is. They would have never just stuck it on there. But they would have always just given us an SM-33.
Although, I do want to say, a lot of time there has been instances where, because LEGO hasn't been given enough photos or whatever from the show, it ends up being wrong. Thrawn got the wrong rank badge in Rebels because whatever concept art they sent didn't end up making the cut. And the worst one was Kylo Ren's command shuttle, where the wings are supposed to go like this, but they just were stuck like this on the original.
I see there's shooters all over this thing.
3 actual shooting ones, and there's 7 guns. So these 2 are guns. There's 2 guns on the front. There's a gun over here. There's guns everywhere.
What else does this thing do that we might be missing, Micah?
It opens up, and you can get in there. There's storage for all the accessories. Mm-hmm. The back opens, and there's little crates in there.
So I want to know, do those crates contain Old Republic credits?
No, but that would have been cool.
Oh, that's a big ding.
If they would have given us dataries in there, it would have made this whole set perfect.
That's another big omission.
At the end of the show, and they may not have wanted to spoil
No, because the
things.
kids had Old Republic credits. That's how people confirmed that they were a part.
Printed 1x2 tiles. Yeah.
I'm sure people will make it.
Opens. He said the main function is this going by, which is actually really nice.
And there's also a loading ramp in the front that goes down right here. The interior is a little bit difficult to get into, but it's not too bad. There's some cool references in there. I don't remember if it's the first or second episode when Jod is eating food in there. Neil was looking at it. He's super hungry. And he says that, and Jod tells him there's more in the pot, so it has that pot in there, which is really cool. Yeah, like Micah said, there's storage for all of their flashlights that they have in there. And there's also a bed that pops out. Grab that. Oh, it's broke. No, it's not. It's great. There's also a bed in there, which is nice. Just goes right in there. So, yeah, I think it's great.
I have to say that I wish there was more space. I don't know how they would have done it. I wish there was more space inside.
Yeah. So, I want to talk about swooshability. When you look at this set, there is a swooshable component to it, but you've got to get your hand in the right spot, right? So you've got to kind of pick it up, get your hand under, because if you grab these front panels, they feel so flimsy, like they're going to break off. the back, you've got the motors, and it's just...
You can kind of grab it like this, though. It's not stable, but you could... Ow.
I feel like it's very swooshable once you're actually playing with it.
Come with a handle.
I feel like the swooshability is a little off on this.
But I feel like it's great.
I keep breaking pieces off because I'm touching in the wrong spots. So it will swoosh, right?
Yeah.
And not fall apart, but you got to grab it the right way.
See, I think that the best way to hold it is just like this, and then you can do a lot of, like, it's not you. Aside from the cannons falling off, you can feel very confident that the actual bodywork is not gonna break.
Except for the very thing that makes it a pirate ship.
Like, look it. You can shake it around and hold it at different points. It's not gonna break. Like.
All right, playability and functions in 3, 2, 1.
9.8.
9.8.
Oh no, we only do 0.5s. I'm gonna redact your 9.8.
Then 10.
We're opening up too big of a window when we do
I was
tenths.
almost gonna do 10.
All right.
So it's going 10.
So you got a 10, you got a 9.
I don't know if I'm just in a good mood today. I feel like the one thing I'm disappointed in is it feels kind of hard to get in here.
It is a little bit difficult.
Enough space. But other than that, I feel like they did pretty good given what it is and what.
All right.
I will say it is easier. I have smaller hands, so I can get in there better. And then once you get a technique of getting all the figures in there, it's great. I mean.
So that gives us a 9.5 average score for playability and function. Last on the table is value. That is not just the price and price per part, but do you get what you paid for, right? Do you get a set that you enjoy, that you look at, that makes you happy? Or do you get a set that you build and you're like, I just spent money on not getting the most iconic figure in the Lego set? So let's talk a little bit about value. Micah, how much did this retail for?
It retailed for $140, but we were lucky enough to have our Target price match to Amazon Japan. So we got it for a little bit less than that.
Yep. So if you guys have seen all these videos going around about you can get cheaper Lego from Amazon Japan, it's true. And sometimes your local stores will even price match to Amazon Japan. So we were able to pick this up at the Amazon Japan prices at our local Target store, which does help. But let's pretend you paid retail for it.
I feel like retail's pretty fair. You're at 1,323 pieces, so it's a pretty fair price to part ratio. As far as the figures and what the value may look like once it retires, I think Jod has the potential to gain some value. I feel like KB, Fern, and Wim, unless they become iconic from the show, probably won't. But I think Neil will because he looks like Max Rebo. But
Max Rebo. Telling you.
But I just feel like overall you've got a set where one of the iconic characters is omitted. As far as I know, there's no more sets from the show slated to be released. And
even if they do, what would they put him in? He comes with the ship.
Yeah, this was a very challenging build, and it doesn't even look that much like him. So cool. You're just kind of leaving people with no option. That takes away from the value of it. So
Lego, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to give you a chance to make up for our missing droid. If we have our receipt, you can set up a program. We upload the picture of our receipt, and you send out K2SO droids to everyone with a modified color, modified face print, and we're happy. We call it evens, right? Even Steven. We'll call it even.
That, or I would also be equally happy if they'd make a microfighter of this with him driving it. That'd be fine, too.
What if that's in the plans?
What if it is?
What
Just
if
like the Rex.
That's in the plans?
Who knows?
All right, so I have to hold my anger until we see, which could be another year.
But right now, the show came out and he's not there. That still hurts it. It still hurts it.
It does.
It does.
Caleb, how do you feel about what you paid for it?
I mean, I feel like it's very fair for what you get. Yes, there is a lacking omission of SN33. I mean, it's angering, but I don't feel like it's going to hurt the value too much. I feel like it should have been 130, would have been a bit better, but I have no problem with the price. For the amazing function you get, it's always a good thing when you can fit all of your figures in the ship.
Right.
Like, I think that adds value because there's, like, you don't have to worry about, okay, now these figures are going to go in a bin because there's nowhere to put them. Like, they all go in the ship, and I think that's great. I feel like it's a fair value. 130 would be better, but I think it's good enough.
All right, so here we go. You guys ready with your scores? In 3. Oh, that's a 2. So let's go 3, 2, 1.
8.
I'm gonna go 9.
All right, so that's an 8.5 on overall value. All right, guys, I mean, that walked it through. SPUPLR doesn't lie. We have ended with a total average score, which is actually pretty decent, of 45.
45.
45.
Really
that is actually really good,
Really good.
despite the glaring omission. I would have never allowed this set. I would have vindictively manipulated the integrity of the SPUPLR system because of a missing droid. And that is why you two did the SPUPLR, and I sat over here and whined and cried like an entitled LEGO collector.
I do have to say, I feel like it did deserve more than a 5-point deduction on him being missing, but I didn't want to punish things that had nothing to do with him not being there because he wasn't there.
I get it. I get it. Well, thanks for hanging out with us at the LEGO table today and checking out the new Skeleton Crew LEGO set. 45 points is a respectable score. Let us know in the comments below what you would have scored this set. If you enjoyed hanging out with us in the LEGO room, hit subscribe. Maybe even hit the notification bell and the like button. It would mean so much to us to know that we're creating what you want to see. If you didn't like the video, then I know you're not even watching right now. But if you are watching, just angry at us like we're angry about this little droid, tell us in the comments how angry you are, because YouTube loves comments. And we'll take the good comments with the bad comments so that we can grow in what we do for you. So, go out there in the week ahead, build beauty in the world around you with the blocks that you have. Go out there and give more.
Do more.
Share more.
And love more. We didn't even rehearse it! And share your smile, because smiles, they truly are contagious.
Give more, do more, share more, and love.